And I think that is it. It is. Woo! Anonymous artist. Thanks to the efforts of Capra, my family, we have an opportunity like no other. Allow me to introduce you to some long lost friends. Okay. I'll just, I'll let this go on its own. It's progressing by itself, anyways. So yeah. Pro Philosopher 2, Governments and Grievance. I think it's Grievances. I think it's Grievances. Has been conquered. Woot. Woot. I did not write my thoughts down for this game because, you know, it's a pretty short game. But my overall thoughts, I like this game a lot. It's pretty good. It's pretty darn good. I'm not entirely sure if I like it more than the first game. Mostly because philosophy and like debating philosophers about philosophical ideas was just more of a fascinating thing for me than, you know, political systems, I guess. But at the same time, this game tackled the political systems in a way that I was not expecting and made me more interested in those debates than I otherwise would be, which kind of catches me by surprise because, you know, why would I want to learn about communism and why communism is a terrible idea, or why colonialism is, you know, a terrible idea. You know, but you know, those debates were actually fascinating. And, you know, like I was actually interested in continuing them. There was not a single debate where I was like, you know, I'm not really interested in continuing this one. Like each one kept my interest. So I'm very surprised by that. Um, I do think though that if there was one debate where I was like, this one, this one's taking longer for me understand, or maybe not understand, like it's taking longer for me to see where this is going, was definitely the Fallon colonized like mind one, because it felt like we spent so long talking about the like being colonized rather than the government system of colonized individuals. So that one for me was probably the weakest. Um, Interestingly enough, um, the Prince model, Machiavelli, was probably the most interesting to me. I think Karl Marx was probably uh, one of the more enjoyable ones, and uh, the two scholars towards the end. I forgot their name, Nozick and the other guy. Those ones were actually super interesting as well, because instead of debating actual government systems, we were debating like ideas. Although the original position um, one is one that I'm still not necessarily on board with, because if if your target is an unattainable goal, then what's the point of trying to go towards that target? I, it just seems silly to me, but yeah, I like the progression of this. I definitely admit that I was a little hesitant about the final debate, but I think the final debate was actually a really nice capstone where, we spent this entire game talking about philosophers and and their value and things like that. And then we have a debate of, well, let's bring philosophers to like the the I want to say to the table, but that's not really where I want to go with it. It's like, let's give the philosophers the power to make the change. And why would that be a good or bad idea? And was just a really nice way uh, to kind of close everything out. So appreciate that a lot. Uh, definitely a great game. It makes me wonder if Pro Philosopher 3 comes out, what what would be the topic? You know, who would we talk to? It'd be crazy, absolutely crazy. But yeah, that's more or less my thoughts on this game. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I enjoyed it a lot. You know, I I will say this. This is um this is more of a game thing. Like design choices and whatnot. Um I was mulling over the thought of, like, what if I the the idea that you need to clarify and ask for backing on every statement. I wonder if that's the best approach when it comes to getting information updated and getting new ideas to the idea slate. Um, because, like, for me, there were some instances where I didn't feel like I needed to ask for clarify statements or for them to back up their statements. It seemed pretty clear how I wanted to counteract their statements. But the thing is the way the flow of the game goes is you should be clarifying and asking for backing on everything, because you can get new ideas and you can get new things to for them to add to their arguments. And I don't necessarily know if the flow of the game changes for the worse if you just have them state their entire argument from the get go rather than update it in the middle of the questioning process. Um, Also, I will say that, this is one of those things that, uh, for someone like myself, finding the answer is not necessarily as simple as it could seem, because I'm trying to take ideas that are given to me and apply them to statements that I feel best work. Sometimes I fail at that. Sometimes I forget what statements I've made. So if I fail to provide a proper statement, I would like to see the same treatment given in the idea slate as it is in the questioning section. Like whenever you ask a question, there's an option in the options menu to check it off and say like, "Hey, you already did this." I would like to see an option for, "Hey, would you like to check off ideas that you have already used for this specific um, uh, like point, I guess." And that way, you don't use the same one twice or something like that and get a game over or whatever. Not that getting a game over is, the worst thing in the world or what have you. You can save scum and all that other stuff, but just one of those things for someone like me who, it's like, yeah, I just used that one and then I come back to it. I'm like, did I use that one? But those are the only things that came to mind for me of, what if there was something that I wanted to address, what would I address about it? And that's about it. So yeah, I don't think I got anything else. I definitely hope for a Pro Philosopher 3. This is one of those franchises where I'm like, I'm gonna have to keep an eye on this one forever. But let's see what's going on here. Come on, Mom, everyone's waiting. I know, I just need a moment to. And that's another 1,000 for Smith and 900 for Tucker. It's so close. I know. Whatever comes next, we're in it together. Right. Whatever comes next. In. Righty. I am pressing buttons. Nothing. Oh, it was like nothing is happening. And that is Pro Philosopher 2. I want to check out Steam achievements real quick. I have 18 out of 21. Wow, this 58.9% of the people that have played this have completed the game. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. What are the achievements that I missed? I'm curious. Find out why Hobbes didn't reserve RSVP for his political party. Probably not, but hey, it at least made it interesting. Achievement title, Forbidden Love. Party hardy. Abandon everything and party instead. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Alrighty, what does the chat say before we close this out? And everyone would be able to play and think at the same pace, not having enough time to think at their own pace. That is definitely a limitation. I definitely think slower than a lot of people, so, something to certainly consider. Gamification is definitely a way to maintain engagement these days. Agree. Imagine people actually thinking. Indeed. That'll be the day. Anonymous artist, I did see that as well. I thought that was very interesting. And politics becoming interesting. Crazy. Point is the journey and how you approach it, or how you approach decision making. Intro music theme is fantastic, very chill. Weekend schedule remains unchanged? Yes. I am going to end my thoughts here. And we can chat. So, yeah.